unique direction. So structure and strategies of maintenance management. Today we will discuss this, and we will see how the organizations are adopting this, how the organizations are taking this as a concerned area. So what we have discussed maintenance of modern machinery and industry, calls for setting up a healthy, balanced, and rationalized organization structure to achieve the multifaceted objectives. So we have seen the production management is also changing with the modern machinery. We see all machinery are being automated. We see new type of technology is being introduced on a continuous basis in the organization. So in this balanced phase, in this changes scenario, the organizations have to see there is a balance, right? So balanced, healthy. They should ensure that there are no breakdowns in this maintenance in this machinery, and they should ensure that there is no hindrance in the production activity, right? The importance of maintenance organization grows on with the increase in the, so when we see that it is more and more important, when we try to see that there are constant changes in the equipment. If at all you go with a very traditional equipment, you see that every 1 month or every 15 days you grease it, you oil it, and you see that there is no repair in that particular maintenance. But when it is automated, when we have to do the backup, when we have to see that it have to be on, when we have to see that there is no there is no problem in the automation scenario. Right. So it goes on a continuous basis. We have to set up the time schedules. We have to ensure that everything is going on in a time schedule. Every quantity is going on according to it. We have to have always a quality check or quality watch when we talk about automation. So the maintenance or the importance have been increased because more the complexity of the equipment, more the dependence and more the maintenance operations that we have to need. And to ensure this, we need a trained and competent person to head the maintenance organization, because if at all you don't have any idea, definitely you cannot work out with. So nowadays the organizations are also seeking for highly trained and competent persons to organize this maintenance department. So what is the basic objective? The basic objective is to ensure that maintenance function is carried out effectively. So as we have discussed, it should be carried out effectively, and equipment downtime as well as the loss of production is minimized. So what I told, downtime means what? The machinery that is been shut down. The time that is been involved for the machinery to be shut down. So if at all the machinery is shut down, definitely there the production time will come down, will be increased, and when your production time will be increased, your cost will be affected. So what is your objective? The objective is that you have to cut down the equipment downtime and increase the production capacity. So what is the requirements that they see whenever they go with this to recover this objective? They see that the maintenance department should always have an expertise who have seen the since the success or failure of the maintenance department would depend on his abilities and capabilities. So whoever is more experienced, he will only know that when the machine will break down, when the machine will be under repair, and if at all it is under repair, how it can be recovered, right? And what are the precautionary measures that they have to take, and how the continuous monitoring have to be taken, and how the planned preventive schedules can reduce this breakage in the maintenance, right? So if at all we see that every 15 days we are gearing our vehicles, definitely it will be running smoothly, right? So these preventive schedules can make this monitoring can reduce the repairs for any of the machine. For a complex, so for example, he has specified here mining. A centralized maintenance unit can be set up since hundreds of mining units operate independently in a different area. So we see whenever we go with mining, everywhere the mining operations are been they are conducted in different areas, but the whole operations are being maintained at one headquarters, and maintenance department is coordinating with the daily requirements with each and every different area unit, and they are able to successfully maintain the operations. So here, whenever the maintenance department is designing their strategy, every department has its own policies. Every department has its own procedures. Every department have its own goals. Every department, uh, every department tries to come out with their facilities that they are offering to each and every other department. So coming to the maintenance organization, we can see the organizational goals pertaining to maintenance function must be identified and should match with overall organizational goals. So here, whenever they are trying to set up their goal, they have to match with the organizational goals. So suppose the organizational goals is that to increase the production capacity and double their production capacity within 6 months. So if at all this goal is there and maintenance goal, like they ensure that every 1 month they go with repair, or every they coordinate with different departments and see that how the machineries are running on, and what machineries have been down, and how they have to be up, and how they have to be repaired, right? So if at all your repairing activities, you have a schedule and you see that okay, this particular department's machinery comes after 1 month or comes after 15 days, and with that your organizational goals wherein you have to double your capacity by 6 months is a contradiction. So this may hinder you. So you have to always ensure that what are organizational goals, and according to that the maintenance department have to see that their goals are being synchronized with the organizational goals. Otherwise, though you are performing the maintenance function, you may not reach the organizational goals, and it is of no use. Maintenance workload should be determined beforehand to achieve the desired results with proper utilization of manpower and facilities. So, if at all you have a workload that is pre-designed, then only you will come to know that how many persons are involved, who are the persons that you have to involve in designing the maintenance activities, and how much manpower you require, how many facilities you require, what type of machinery that you require, what type of spare parts that you require for maintenance. So if at all everything is planned, you can just cut out your downtime. Total maintenance work should be properly and uniformly distributed among all the concerned persons to avoid conflict among workers. So here, generally what happens if at all any breakdown comes, the worker will simply blame the other person, specifying that I am not the authorized person for maintaining this machinery. I am only the person who will work on the machinery, but I am not the person who will try to see that whether the machinery has been rotten or rot, or the machinery has been not geared properly or not oiled properly. I am not the person. So you have to ensure that the concerned persons are responsible, and distribute uniformly to all the persons whoever are looking after the machine, at least the foreman supervisor, or at least the foreman, or the shop level supervisor, or the employee whoever is working on the machine. Try to see that you are properly assigning the responsibility of taking care of that particular machine so that you can avoid the conflicts among the workers. A due consideration and care should be given for proper qualification of workers while assigning a particular job. So as I told, if at all your work you have assigned to the worker, specifying that you have to take care of, you ensure that he is properly qualified, you ensure that he is properly trained before you assign a particular job. Because if at all he is not properly trained, proper expertise is not, he's not there, what he will do by taking the machine? It may just um, lead to a very huge loss for the organization. So ensure that you are assigning the job with a proper qualification of the workers. The maintenance organization should be staffed with best qualified and trained people. So as I told, you should always, because maintenance department is so responsible and so accountable department, which should be very authentic, and a small mistake also will overlead to a risk for the organization. So you just ensure that they are properly staffed with best qualified and trained people. Next, the policies and procedures should be clearly designed at early stage to help maintenance people to achieve these organizational goals. So you have to see that they are pre-planned. They are pre-planned. As I told, every department have their policies and procedure. So these maintenance department also have to ensure that they are designed at a early stage. So last class we have discussed the structure, that how the structure of the maintenance organization with. So in this we have different types of structures. We had a line structure. We have a line staff structure wherein these will be supporting staff, and this will be the line function, and they are the supporting staff. Then we have seen maintenance functional organization. So depending on the functions, like we are having electrical functions, we have welding functions, we have hydraulic functions, we have engine shop. So depending on the functions, we are trying to see that this maintenance organization is structured according to the different operations that have been conducted in the organization. Then we have seen, see, we have works manager. Then we have a plant engineer, industrial engineer, production control superintendent, and then we have utilities engineer. So these are the different designations that we have in any of the operations management. Right. So under the maintenance superintendent, we have maintenance foreman one, maintenance foreman two, maintenance foreman three. So who tries to organize the functions at different levels. Like see, who will be having one will be taking care of repair, one will be taking care of electrician. Like we have different types of maintenance department, right? Foreman two, then foreman three, he will be having some category of people. Foreman four will have some category of people, right? So in this, every foreman again will have some category of people who will take care of the maintenance. So this is how the organization structure of any of the maintenance department will be looking at. Right. So strategies of maintenance management. So as we have discussed earlier, if at all you see the approach, when I will go to a doctor, whenever I feel that okay, there is a fever, right, or there is a illness for me, then I will try to see that I used to go to the doctor in the earlier days. But is it the case now? You see that you are ensuring your body maintenance every day. You have lukewarm water in the morning, you have a healthy breakfast, you have a healthy dinner, You have a healthy lunch, then you try to see that your cholesterol levels are not increased. On on every 1 month basis, you try to see that you are having some medical tests that go on, whether you are fit or not. You see that medical tests have been conducted and you see your reports, and accordingly you go with the doctor consultation, right? So in this way, you have changed your scenario of maintenance. So in the same way, the organizations earlier, what they used to do, whenever there is a breakdown, the maintenance department used to be active. But now they have seen a change in scenario where every time they are active and they are more focusing on the preventive maintenance than the post maintenance, right? So preventive means you are trying to see that you are developing any techniques or methodologies that will try to reduce your breakdown. Right. So see here, the approach in 1940s was a strictly corrective operation. Right. So the only maintenance was the associated repairs. So what they used to concentrate, they only concentrate on associated repairs that the machines used to have. Then in 1970s, condition-based maintenance. So condition-based maintenance became feasible. Several methods for measuring the actual state of equipment and predictive failures became available in 1970s. So they used to conduct condition-based maintenance become feasible, right? So non-destructive testing, vibration, thermal monitoring. So these type of condition monitoring techniques were being used, and they used to see that whether the machinery is working well or not. So that was the strategy in 1970s. Right now, we can see in 1990s, a centralized maintenance department and total productive maintenance were developed and become popular in the early 1990s. So what are the different strategies? So this may be the question that can be asked in your examination. What are the different strategies that the maintenance department designs for? Right. So first strategy is what? Run to failure. Breakdown maintenance strategy. So this is also known as breakdown maintenance strategy. So what happens in run to failure? Assets are deliberately allowed to operate until they break down, at which point maintenance is performed. So what happens? This is a strategy where if the machine breakdowns, right, then only we will do some appropriate measure. Until then, we are not looking care of that particular machinery. So no maintenance is performed before then until they break down, until there is a loss. Sorry, until there is a shutdown in the machinery. Until then, we will. After that only we will perform. Before that, we will not do any maintenance activity. A plan is a place ahead of failure, so the asset can be fixed without causing production issues. This type of maintenance strategy is used when organization uses redundant, non-critical assets that pose no safety risks, and total cost of repairs after breakdown is less than the cost of performing before a hand. All right. So when this type of strategy can be utilized, when we know that, okay, if at all we wait and we see that after repair, after breakdown, we can repair and there will be no hindrance in the production system, then we can design the strategy for that particular machinery where it is not affecting the production activity or production system. For that type of machines, we can use this strategy because everyday continuous maintenance will incur more and more costs, right? So to reduce this cost, we can try to use this strategy for some category of machines where they are not completely dependent on the productive activity, and we know that, okay, after the breakdown it can be repaired and we can do the repair and there is no risk. So for that type of operations, we use run to failure. An example is the plan for the bulb operates until failure and is then fixed. So what are the advantages? Minimum time spent planning and maintaining, the simplicity of implementation. Disadvantages: Unpredictable and inconsistency of maintenance tasks. So we don't know when it will break down and when we have to be active. So that is unpredictable and inconsistency of maintenance tasks. And if at all you are involved in other any other task at that time, it will be a problem, right? So higher maintenance and inventory costs. So we have to always spare, or we have to allocate some inventory for that particular machine for maintenance. Right. So we are involved in high maintenance and inventory costs. So these are the disadvantages. Next strategy is preventive maintenance strategy. So in the preventive maintenance strategy, what before the machinery fails, you have to react for. So you should be proactive. So in preventive maintenance, maintenance regularly performed on an asset to reduce the likelihood of its failing. So you are trying to maintain the asset to reduce the likelihood of the failing nature of the machinery. It is performed while the asset is still working. So when we can do this, whenever the asset is in a working condition, we are scheduling our maintenance operations. So it should be used on assets that have critical operation functions. So when we will try to use this strategy, when we see that they have a critical operation function and regular maintenance have to be required, and proper care have to be taken for that machinery, because it is more and more important for the production activity. An example of this strategy is scheduling maintenance for a conveyor belt on the first Monday of every month, or every 500 hours of operation. So you see that, okay, you just keep one date that, okay, every Tuesday we will try to monitor the operations of this particular machinery, or after every 500 hours, or after every 300 hours, you have a check. Then automatically your uh, maintenance department will be more and more effective, and you will try to reduce the overhead costs. So advantages: lower overhead costs, time commitments, production delays. So we can see that production delays can be decreased, because there will be no repairs in the machinery on a continuous basis. Right. Disadvantages: investing more time and resources. So whenever the problem is also not there, but you have to always invest some resources for the to maintain the system. Predictive maintenance strategy. So it was what earlier we have preventive, run to failure, preventive, then predictive maintenance strategy. Predictive means what? You are predicting that the machinery may fail. Right. So you are in the assumption that your asset may fail and prevents the failure, and you design the strategies for preventing the failure by scheduling maintenance. So it keeps maintenance frequency low and reliability high. So possible failures are identified with monitoring equipment linked to software or through visual inspections. Right. So if at all you are going for automation, automation software, we will see that software breakdown may happen, or there are bugs that have to be fixed, or the inspections that have to be done on a continuous basis, and you try to predict that, okay, here the problem is there, and it may cause a breakdown. Right. So based on that, you try to. So an example includes being able to monitor if a conveyor belt drops below a certain speed, which will trigger a work order. Right. So here predictive maintenance. So you will try to predict and you will try to react. Then your routine maintenance. So apart from this, you have to always do some routine maintenance for any of the asset to work well. So routine maintenance is the regular inspection and servicing of the machine. So what is routine maintenance? That always been conducted by the maintenance management. You will try to have a regular inspection and servicing of machines, and they see that operations running smoothly. Routine maintenance tasks are small and simple in nature, and only require basic maintenance skills to perform well. So they can be conducted on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly basis, or annual basis. So routine maintenance is also a type of preventive maintenance, and they also take a key part of total productive maintenance, in which machine operators perform small maintenance tasks to increase the reliability of the machine they use every day. Like examples are lubricating. As I told you, you have to lubricate with oils and gear your machines, cleaning, right? Continuous cleaning. Any wastage material has been stuck on, or then you have to clean it on a regular basis, and adjusting machines, replacing equipment parts on a schedule, inspecting certain components. So these are the activities that have been done on a routine basis, and they are included in the rotation uh, regular inspection. Then you have corrective maintenance strategy. The use of a planned preventive maintenance brings out of necessary repetitive failures. So when such repetitive failures are there, when such repetitive like whenever there is a repair is there, you have to see that corrective maintenance is been done, right? Corrective maintenance may be defined as a specific maintenance operation which is well organized and performed with some prior planning, forethoughts, and control activities. It is a special type of maintenance activity carried out to restore an item, machine, when it is failed to meet an acceptable condition after the failure has occurred. Right. So the it may be executed in the form repair may be minor, replacement may be partial. So in that particular scenarios, you have to ensure that you are taking a corrective action. Then reliability based centered maintenance strategies. It is known as RCM strategy. Reliability centered maintenance, right? So it is a high involved process that seeks to analyze all the possible failure models for each piece of equipment and customize a maintenance strategy for each individual machine. So it is, you have to see that reliable, the machine is reliable, and from an overall perspective, you have to ensure that what are the different failure modes for each piece of equipment and customize your maintenance strategy for each and every individual machine. Right. So these RCM establishes the functional requirements. The RCM establishes the functional requirements and the desired performance standards of equipment. And these are then related to design and inherent reliability parameters of the machine. Right. So this is RCM. Centered. RCM means reliability centered, right? Your main objective is the reliability. So whenever you want to be reliable, you have to see from an overall perspective. And whenever you are seeing from an overall perspective, try to analyze all the possible failure modes and try to see that you are customizing your maintenance strategy according to the failure that you are expecting that can happen. So it should be used after mastering other maintenance strategies. So when this strategy have to be used, it will be used when other maintenance strategies are been mastering, and when facilities can invest required time, money, and resources. So this is beyond the whatever the routine activities that you are doing. You can design some customized maintenance strategies also. Condition based maintenance strategy. So based on the condition of that particular machine, you can try to design your maintenance strategy. So put measures simply operational parameters in assist to determine the change in the condition, performing maintenance only when the need arises. So based on the condition of the machinery only, you can see that you are designing the maintenance strategy. Hmm. Then design out maintenance strategy. If the maintenance costs or downtime costs of equipment is high, then you design this strategy, design out maintenance strategy. This strategy is different from others, and it is redesigned to those parts of equipment which consumes high levels of maintenance efforts. Right. So design out. So you try to have a sort out a design strategy wherein you see that okay, which equipment requires high maintenance cost and which equipment requires a less maintenance cost, and based on that you design out these strategies. Total predictive productive maintenance. Right. So these are the different strategies that the organizations plan for. So what are the strategies? Let us see. Let us once again go through the strategies and then we will wind up for the class of today. Right. So what are the strategies? It is a very important question that can be asked in your examination. So what is a strategy? It is a plan, or it is a future course of action that we are planning to do. Right. So we are having different types of strategies. One is run to failure, RTF, run to failure. Whenever there is a failure, until then you perform no maintenance operations on that. Preventive, you try to see that you are designing some activities to prevent the breakdown of the machinery. So that is known as preventive maintenance strategy. Next is predictive. So you are trying to predict, and based on the prediction, you are trying to schedule your maintenance activities. Routine maintenance strategy, that is you are trying to design your strategy according to the needs that you have to do on a regular basis. Corrective maintenance, whenever there is a requirement of your maintenance, you ensure that you are not doing maintenance only for namesake, and you are doing some corrective maintenance and you are doing the operations so that your wastage is been your item is been restored. Reliability centered, you try to customize your maintenance strategies wherein you try to see the from an overall perspective what are the failure modes, and according to that you are designing your reliability centered machine maintenance strategy. Then design out maintenance strategy, you try to design out your strategies based on those type of equipments which require high level of maintenance, and those level of equipments which require a minimum level of maintenance. Total productive maintenance, it's a overall maintenance package wherein you try to see that all the strategies are being integrated and you aim for zero breakdown and more and more acceptable cost benefit ratio. So world-class manufacturing is a innovative non-traditional approach to plant maintenance and is complementary with TQM, JIT, total employee improvement and continuous performance improvement. So here world-class manufacturing, as you are also having a subject world-class manufacturing. So world-class manufacturing is an innovative approach for these maintenance management. So total productive maintenance approach has the capability of almost seamless integration. Seamless integration means what? Without any hindrance or without any problems. Right. So TPM means total equipment machine effectiveness, total employee workman involvement, a total maintenance delivery system. So that is known as TPM. So TPM is a combination of PM, that is preventive maintenance, and Japanese concept of total quality control, and plus the total employment improvement. So it is a combination of TPM is a combination of PM, TQC and TEI. Right. So we have discussed today all the strategies. So you just try to now browse on some strategies of the organizations which you may see that how the new organizations are using these strategies and how they are implementing these strategies on a regular basis. Just come out with your examples and just relate it with the advantages and disadvantages the organizations are having with these type of strategies. And you can just go through the case study also that they have provided you when they are going for new product development, how they are just designing their strategies. Okay. With this, today we will wind up for the class. Thank you.